Well, okay, I got this fucking goblins. Okay, just watch this.
9/11 being an inside job. I think that there are people who want to believe conspiracy theories. It's evil if you believe that American officials murdered 3,000 of their fellow citizens.
Well, and here's the thing.
Then blamed it on
the first
Muslims.
mistake he says is to call them Americans. They're not Americans. All right. First of all, they're globalists. Second of all, if anything, they're British. Right? Like if you trace the lineage of these people, most of these people go back to British royalty. Even Obama. It's like, oh, Obama's our first black president. You know how folks no, he's descended from British royalty on his mom's side. Almost
also like, why would I want to believe that, Dennis Prager? Like that's
right.
horrible. Why would I want to believe that?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's check this out.
Why would they do that? There isn't a shred of evidence for it. The truths in life are usually what is clear. We cloudy it up. It was clear who did it. What was it, 18, I think, Islamists who did that. We know their names. We know their backgrounds. We know everything about them, essentially. Osama bin Laden orchestrated it. His life's hatred was of America. And
article that came out a couple of months ago.
Dude, wait, did you catch that? Who hated America and Israel? How is Israel the victim here, dude? Like, what? They're always the victim, even when they have nothing to do with it. I mean, according to the official narrative, at least.
Yeah, Building 7 was in Tel Aviv, didn't you know?
Yeah, like, what? Are you kidding? How are you bringing Israel? Okay, that really pisses me off. Yeah, he says it's clear we know who did it. Yeah, because they found a passport, like, just on the street. Some, like, man in black gave it to a cop. You know, they couldn't find the black boxes. They couldn't find a black box from a single one of the planes, but they found the dude's passport made of paper intact. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, he's really not making an argument. He's just like, this is like your dad telling you to calm down and like, oh, the truth is usually clear. That's not true. That's not true. The truth is usually obfuscated. What kind of person thinks the truth is usually clear? You're going to be wrong about everything. This is the PR empire. This is the empire of lies. The truth is not usually clear. But this guy had to throw in the Israel shilling. Like, that's egregious. We can't even, I think, get into that on YouTube, but that's really egregious.
Also, these are the same. He wants to make the argument that it is evil to think that U.S. government officials attack our own citizens, but they are 100% willing to say that all the time. Democrats are attacking us here. Democrats are attacking us there. Democrats and are aiding Antifa to burn down Minneapolis, Seattle. The left, the radical left Democrats are. Specifically, not civilians, government officials are aiding in the violent attack of the country. They say it all the time. Except except when it can bolster the war economy, where Raytheon and Halliburton and Boeing and all of these other weapons contractors have something to gain by, sending artillery overseas, or can make fighter planes to shock and awe a million Iraqis. That you don't want to question that narrative, because we need to keep making artillery and tanks and warplanes to bomb civilians overseas. You can't question that narrative.
Well, and at this point, we know.
Yeah, only when they can push this sectarianism,
right.
Are they willing to they're 100% willing to say that U.S. government officials are capable of this.
Well, and the thing about it is, when you're talking about basically politicians being in the pockets of these military contractors, that's been going on since Vietnam. LBJ was involved in that. Every single war since Vietnam, you might as well assume someone's getting the payoff. And so for anyone to look at, and for sure, it was obvious in Iraq. You're talking about Dick Cheney being a major shareholder of Halliburton. And everybody knew it. Everybody knew. So if you lived through Iraq and you're not seeing what's going on in Ukraine, and here's another twist on Ukraine, and I saw this coming weeks before it was announced. BlackRock and Monsanto are rebuilding Ukraine, and here's my little conspiracy theory. I think what Ukraine is really about, because Ukraine is one of the breadbaskets of Europe, and so one of the very few things that's based about Europe is they don't accept GMO seeds. So here's the thing: if Monsanto controls Ukraine, then Monsanto has leverage to force GMO on Europe. I'm just saying. Like, I don't have any proof that that's part of the agenda there, but for sure, buying up cheap farmland in Ukraine is definitely part of it.
That's interesting. That's definitely worth looking into. But yeah, it is ridiculous that he says, why would they do that? Like, what do you want, a fucking 10,000 word essay? Like, I'll fill your ear about why they did that. But then he says, well, the reason Osama bin Laden did it is just because he hates America and Israel, right? He hates us for our freedom. So that's an acceptable explanation.
Yeah, that's trash.
But the wars for profit in the Middle East, consolidation of power, the Patriot Act, the $4.5 billion that Larry Silverstein got in insurance payouts, the asbestos, like, there's so much there. But no, why would they do that? They hate us for our freedoms. I hate this guy. I do not like this man. So anyway,
he's smart enough to know better.
Oh yeah, that's another point about this. These people, everyone I've shown so far, they all know. Like, if you're even in touch with elite circles, you know, okay? And that's not just me saying that. There was actually a prime minister of Italy who said after he got out of office that it was common knowledge in the intelligence community that it was a Mossad CIA op.
Right.
And they all know, and they're lying. Like, they're not stupid. He's seen Building 7 collapse. He knows it's sus. He's lying to you. Like, and he's calling you evil. He's calling you evil for having any questions about it. Like, that's just so disgusting. I fucking hate this guy. Oh, I hate his, dad energy. You're not my dad. I'm going to stay out as late as I want, Dennis Prager. I'm not going to clean my room.